The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. Yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Hi, and welcome to the Business Zone. It is Friday, January 11th. We are 11 days into the new year. Feels like we have been there. I told somebody last night, it's been like dog years. I feel like it's been 13 years and it's only been 11 days.
Right.
But you are all here with Crystal.
Dawn
And Gilbert is actually heading to the airport right now. He went to the CES show and had a great time with talking about his product, the Small Biz Pro, and he will be back next week. But this week, Dawn and I are going to hold it down.
Absolutely.
We have some phenomenal guests.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. And, it seems like we've had women.
Yes.
We had one guy last week. Yeah,
we did. And the guys are okay, but women are great.
Yeah, women are fantastic. They're doing some phenomenal stuff out here locally, here nationally.
Yes.
I think the world, it's the year of the woman. And so we're doing some great stuff to be part of that. And so our guests today are that as well. Hey, TJ, how are you? How was your week?
Oh, my week was absolutely awesome. No dates, but however, I still had a good week.
How do you even have time? I know I have no time for
Someone
dates.
asked me that today. Well, when you don't, so I stay busy, so I'm not reminded that I'm not dating.
Oh, okay.
But if a date appeared, I would slow down.
Busy, huh?
I'd be so available, like tomorrow, like in 2 minutes.
2 minutes. I had, I don't know if this happens to you, but it has happened to me over the years. Mm-hmm. So usually guys that have been in your life in your previous life, then they start on January 1st, they start making phone calls to do a check-in,
always
right?
happens.
So I had someone call me, and in fact, last week after the show, he called in after the show, and he was saying, "Do you know how much I loved you?"
Oh, wow.
Okay, that was like 30 years ago. So now you're just telling me? He said, I don't know.
In retrospect, they start realizing that you were the one. I get tired of those calls. I just hang up.
It's like, really?
And we couldn't make it work then. We can't make it work now.
Right, exactly. That was a long time ago. So I'm glad to know that I'm not the only, I'm sure I am not the only female that, in retrospect, you were the one.
I got about 3 of them calling me now. Talking about, I love you. Whatever, dude. Whatever, dude.
What happened when we first met, which is,
exactly.
Usually when you think about that, if anything's going to happen, it's got to be in that first when you first meet them.
Yeah, they love me 3 kids and 2 marriages later.
Right. Okay, well, am I supposed to go back and regurgitate those? No, that ain't how that works, guys. So if you meet a young lady and you are vibing with her and she is everything, don't run away and think you're going to come back 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years later.
Just because she's still available.
Right. And that's what they
my life.
Oh, well, you're still here. You were waiting for me.
Right.
No, you don't have nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that.
But Valentine's Day is coming up soon. I have to figure out what I'm going to do.
Oh.
It's next month,
I know it is. Usually
I'm going to sleep through that day if I'm single.
LaRon is going, Guys hate that day.
Through it.
Guys hate that day, huh, LaRon? It's not a holiday to celebrate.
Why? It's where girls get gifts and kisses. I think it's great.
From a male perspective.
He's mad because they spent all the money on Valentine's Day. Like it should be.
So there you have it. I missed workout this morning. I was so tired.
Yes, and we missed you.
You did.
But we worked hard. We worked really hard. And guess what? I got a $25 Starbucks card right now. I don't drink coffee. However, lately I've been drinking coffee because I got clients that want to train at 9 o'clock at night.
Oh,
believe it or not.
Stay up.
And right now, I'm just about making it happen. I have some big projects I'm working on. So last night I didn't get in the bed until probably 11 or 12. And then I had to be up at 2 o'clock, 2:15, because I had a 3:30 client this morning. So
3:30?
Yes, 3:30 client. But look, he lost 6 pounds last week.
Oh.
And the week before that, he lost 4 pounds last week. And the week before that, he lost 6. So we're on a roll. And he's leaving town on Saturday. We usually train on Saturday. And I want him to keep his regimen going.
Okay.
So I got up for him. He's worth it. He pays me great money. That's how I train. When you have a true trainer who cares about your success, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Hey, she's not dating. Why not? She's
wow.
But look, someone gave me a Starbucks card.
Oh, okay.
A $25 Starbucks card.
Was that a bribery?
No, there wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Some bribery was attached to it. But anyway, I was like, I hope I don't have to spend a Starbucks card on anyone but me.
But you,
because Crystal usually buys this. She usually buys the Starbucks.
Yeah, I had to. I'm working on the nonprofit that I have, or I sit on their board. Mm-hmm. Our board meeting is on Monday.
The coffee company?
No, this is actually the tennis program for the kids.
Okay.
So the board meeting's on Monday, so I had to finish up the financials. But one of the things I was proud of myself is I've been asked to speak at the 100 Black Women Coalition.
Awesome.
I think it's in February.
As long as it's not on the date I'm speaking, because you need to be at my talk.
Yeah, no, I don't think
When's your talk?
I think I got actually 2 opportunities. One is February 16th.
Ooh, I'm the 17th.
Yeah, no,
yes.
It wasn't the 17th.
Okay, good. The 16th. Saturday. I'm the 17th on a Sunday.
Oh, okay. Actually, this one I think is actually at the end of this month, and it's a T. And so they usually have 2 speakers, but because they've asked me to do it and I agreed, they're going to have 1 speaker, and we're going to talk on launching your dreams. And then they're going to create a panel. So I was working on my speaker sheet.
So that's why you didn't make it to work out.
Well, because I was working on...
That's why you bought the story up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I was... Explaining where you were.
Explaining where I was. And so by the time I got done, it was late last night. Because I've been wanting to get my 1-page speaker sheet.
Well, how late was it?
It was about 1:30.
Okay.
Yeah, so when 5 o'clock rolled
around... At 1:32, 3, 4, 5... You still had like 4... I only had 2 hours of sleep. At least you had like 4.
But you're like an ever-ready buddy.
Whatever, dude.
You have all kinds of energies. But I had a rough week.
Okay. Too cute.
Yeah, so anyway, I will be there with Bells on Monday.
And
actually, I wish I had gone, because now I found out that I won't... And I'm thinking, okay, well, I have tennis tomorrow, but if it rains, I will not have tennis.
Okay.
Tomorrow, so that's not cool.
Well, I'm going to be there on the 16th to hear you talk about, what's your title?
That one is actually...
Women's Coalition?
I'm going to be speaking... Yeah, no, this one, that one is another organization that does something with kids. Okay. And I'm going to be speaking with children on entrepreneurial stuff.
And when is the Women's Coalition?
The coalition, I don't even remember what date it was. I think it's at the end of this month. I think it's like the 31st.
And that's when you're going to be talking about living your dreams.
Yes, I'm going to be talking about living my dreams.
I am super excited for you.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool, which is one of the things that I put on my vision board, is that I want to do more speaking engagements. And so there you go. Already starting to happen. So I'm thrilled with that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, we got something fun to do. We're going to the Grammys on the 17th, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Down at the Grammys. Well, okay. for Thelma, we're going to
honored. Yes. My client, Thelma's been honored. And I have to show up because I'm responsible for this amazing body. She's going to be walking on the stage to receive this award in. So I have to be here to get the credit for her arms. And, of course, she'll probably be showing those amazing legs that I built. So, yes, I'll be there to get my award.
Yeah. The branding of Dawn Strozier.
Absolutely.
That's all of us. Anytime we put up pictures, that's a brand for you.
Who's your trainer? Too cute.
Yeah, so that works. Hey, Cosette. Hey, Austin. Hey, Michael. Welcome to the Business Zone. So what we're going to do is... we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to bring up our first guest.
Yes.
She's got some amazing things going on right now. And so we'll be right back. Yeah, Miss Rashonda Renee.
All right. Looking forward to it.
Hello. Meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Welcome back to the Business Zone with Crystal,
Dawn,
and Gilbert, who is out of town and will be back next week. We're holding it down for him. We miss you, Gilbert.
We miss you much.
Miss you much. Hey, Maxine, how are you?
Hey, Maxine.
So we just have some incredible women today.
Yes, that's all I know is incredible women.
Yeah, that's all you know is incredible. And so the Year of the Woman, we have a young lady, Miss Rashonda Renee. Yes, and she has done, well, first of all, I've known you for a while, and I think I mentioned to this when I came for a while, but you've been to workshops I've had that I've taught. Absolutely. You've actually, Mastermind Group, I think did you do with Rhonda?
I didn't make it out to that.
Yeah, it was somewhere, but over the last 10 years, we have walked in the perimeters, not really knowing that she was in the business world at all, because you were a social worker, right? And
well, I started a nonprofit in 2011, and I think that's really where it began.
Okay, so when we start seeing, and then your name was attached to the TED Talk Crenshaw,
Crenshaw,
right? And then I'm like, okay. And so then recently you've opened and started a co-working space called the Innovative Entrepreneur Hub.
Awesome.
So she's been in and out of my world, around the perimeters. And when she did this, and she put a message on Facebook that she was looking for speakers, and this dream was having, like, well, when did all of this take place?
Hey, I've been working in the background for a few years.
A quiet storm.
Yes. A quiet storm. And I think I met you through Rhonda Sandiford.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So we're so happy to have you.
Thank you.
And so that's what we don't know with that. People are working behind the scenes for our community, and most of us don't. A lot of us don't even know that that's happening. Yes. So tell me, what was the inspiration behind this your hub?
So Innovative Entrepreneurs, it really started with me and my nonprofit in 2011. That was really the introduction for me in entrepreneurship. I knew I wanted to approach it as a business, not necessarily as a nonprofit. So I just began to take classes and hone my skills on how to operate something like this, because this is the first time for me. So it was just a natural progression to want to start to help entrepreneurs, and that turned into me being a consultant and a strategist. And it was just something that I was doing while I was still working my 9-to-5 job. So it's just been a natural progression. And now here we are with Innovative Entrepreneurs Hub, where we are a shared workspace, but not only just providing a workspace for entrepreneurs, but also helping them in developing their businesses. So that's where you came in. You were like, what is going on with these workshops? And that's really what we're looking for at this point, is people to help us and lead some workshops.
So you're similar to a WeWorks, however, you're like a WeWorks on steroids, because you're offering some help.
Exactly.
Right.
It's really more of a collaborative feel for us. A lot of times people who are familiar with co-working spaces, they still feel a little disconnected. But for us, we wanted to feel like this, like they're at home and they can get that help and that support and not still feel disconnected.
Really?
Yeah, because this became very popular with the tech companies.
Yes.
They have a lot of the co-working spaces. I think there's one called General Assembly.
Absolutely.
That's down in Santa Monica. They have locations all over the place, but that's what they do as well.
Well, actually, General Assembly, they started as a co-working space, and then they developed into being more of a school. So now you can get some of those technical skills and build your skills inside of their curriculum and go out and get jobs.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing.
I can come by your spot and hang out all day if I want.
You can. You can become a member.
Right.
So we have memberships that start at $99.
That's not
bad. That's not bad, right?
Yeah. Do you have spaces that you can actually rent?
Yes. So you can come in. You have an open space where you can work.
A community area?
Community area, open area. We have a couple of offices for folks who are just a little more established and really just need that, but they don't want all of the extra overhead.
And how much are those offices?
So the office start at $1,000. But you get a great furnished office. You have your own closed door. You can have your meetings. And we also have the conference room, the meeting room that you have access to.
Fax machine,
printer, everything.
Everything.
We have a classroom that will be dedicated to the workshop area, where we'll always have something going on. So if there's a consultant or a business that wants to run their own workshops, we have that space available as well. In the kitchen.
And how much is the space to run a workshop?
So to run a workshop, we start at $65 an hour. Very affordable.
That's not bad. It's quite, and I think that is the business trend today.
Absolutely.
Is creating these environments, because it is costly to actually have your own office space. So and so many of us work from home. And this way you don't have the commitment so you can do that. And what I love about the co-working space is if the idea is to help you collaborate, now you're actually supporting one another, because I'm big on collaboration. I think business is done best when you collaborate with others, because you can share in each other's skill sets to make your business more bountiful, so to speak.
And to share into resources. I mean, for me, I've been able to pretty much establish a pretty good network. So I don't want to just keep that all to myself. So I want to be able to help other businesses and other entrepreneurs. I know wonderful people like Crystal.
And myself.
And Dawn.
And Ms. Dawn.
Who have their own resources. So it's just really about being able to pool those and just really help each other and establish great businesses.
And that's really how Dawn and I, we were introduced through a good friend of hers, and then we belong to this women's group called the Bella Network, and that's what we do. We're there to support one another. Gilbert and I met through someone else, and then we created a collaboration here and in another business thing that we do, and so I think that's very, very important, is because it really helps when you there are certain areas that we're very strong in, and there are other areas we have weaknesses, and so if we can shore that up with other business people, and you have a good working partnership, that just makes it so much better for everybody.
Yes.
How often? Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's really what it's all about for us, because we're putting those types of people in the room. If I need help with marketing, there's somebody that'll be there to help me with marketing. If I need help with my books, there's somebody there to help me. If I need that legal advice, there's somebody there to help me.
Yeah, so it's like a holistic environment.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, thank you.
So how often do you do workshops?
So the workshops, as a brand, we will at least do 3 days a week. So then that will leave the other 2 days for other individuals who want to rent the space. So there's always
What do you have
something
coming up?
So coming up, starting when we do open, because we haven't opened yet.
Okay.
So we're launching the first week of February. That first week we have amazing entrepreneur that's going to teach us about marketing.
Okay.
And then moving forward, we have something as far as repositioning and just finding yourself. We have some workshops that are just about mindset and just getting you ready for this new year.
Awesome. You can put on your schedule health and business as well.
Okay. Great.
And Crystal's available for collab. What do you call it? What's your talk? Networking.
Anything networking, anything
Well,
in
she
the
talks
county
about so
area.
much, but
Actually, I am.
You can put that on your schedule.
Okay.
I have
Will do.
classes. I do bookkeeping. I teach people how to become bookkeepers, and I also have a workshop running. We'll start on the 28th, teaching small business owners the importance of accounting basics.
Yes.
Understanding how your books run, how banks want your books to run.
Exactly.
And anybody else that's going to lend you money.
Absolutely.
And then and for yourself, understanding how you make money and how you manage that money.
Right. That's very, very important. I have a purse full of receipts right now in the envelope that I need to take care of. So.
Right. So that's
I'm just handing mine to Crystal.
And it's important. Somebody asked me yesterday, I was teaching, we teach a class on digital marketing. And so we're telling them of all these opportunities to make money. And so she says to me, that means if I'm making a millions of dollars a year, which is potentially possible for if you put the work in, she goes, then I'm going to have to pay taxes on it.
Of course.
Well, I tell you what, I'd rather have to be worried about the fact of how I'm going to pay taxes on millions of dollars than pay taxes on my little bit of money.
It's not a bad problem.
It's not a bad problem. Ross Perot said you shouldn't have a problem with taxes if you're making money.
Exactly.
So those are the things, the mindset that we have to kind of redirect our people.
Absolutely.
So you open up on February
4th is our official opening.
Okay.
Yes.
What day of the week is that?
That's a Monday.
A Monday.
That's
Are you having an event? Should Crystal and I show up?
So we're still planning.
Okay.
We're still planning, but I do invite folks to stay tuned to our social media, Innovative Entrepreneurs Hub, both on Facebook and Instagram, just to get some information, because all this information will start to roll out next week.
Okay.
Super excited for you.
So did you get a number of people responding to your request for speakers?
I did. Oh my goodness. My email is still pinging for folks that just want to do workshops. And that's amazing. You know, it's people that I don't know, and it's people that's connecting me to people that they know. So it's just expanding our network and expanding our reach, which is that's the whole idea, right?
Yeah, because it's all about education, and I think most of people, small businesses, don't. Once they get into the whatever their business is about, they don't have time, or they don't think about, or they don't even have the connections to find out what if I don't know how to start payroll? What if I don't know how to do this? And a lot of them are so busy trying to make the business work that they don't take time out to find that information, and they definitely don't do it before, because unfortunately a lot of us fall into business.
Yes, that's true. That's very true.
There's no plans in it. Well, is this the flyer?
I do have a flyer.
Okay.
Yes, we'll leave a few of those for you guys.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yes.
So, the membership is $99 a month.
Membership.
And
coffee and tea?
Yes.
No contract?
No contract.
And it's a space for consultants, creatives, entrepreneurs, freelancers, and remote workers, and small business owners. So you'll have desk area, meeting rooms, no contract, coffee and tea, as Don said, high-speed Wi-Fi, and supportive services. This is phenomenal. Hey, this is where RBD used to be.
Oh, nice. So you're familiar.
Yeah, 5777 West Century Boulevard.
Yes.
We were...
What's the cross street?
Aviation. You're right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Great area.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, right there, right between the Hilton and Marriott.
Yes.
Yeah.
So $99 a month, the community area.
Yes, that's where we start. And it's really about being able to reach entrepreneurs at different levels. Not everybody is able to be there Monday through Friday. So we also have Saturday hours. Not everybody's able to be there 9 to 5. So we want to just be able to stretch it and include as many people as possible.
What are the hours?
So we will
9
be
to 5?
We'll be regular standard hours. So we'll be 9 to 7, actually,
Okay.
just to give a little bit extended for folks who need to have meetings after hours. And then on Saturdays, 9 to 5.
No Sundays.
No Sundays.
Okay.
But we'll have special occasions on Sunday openings.
Okay. And you're looking for brand ambassadors?
Yes, we always are looking for brand ambassadors. So with the brand ambassadors, we just want more people to help us spread the word about what we're doing and us being around. We have wonderful perks for the brand ambassadors. We want them to talk about our brand and just share with some of their network as well. Okay. So they can email us if they're interested in that.
Well, we're really, really hoping, and we know you're going to be successful.
No doubt, because I'm hanging out over there every day.
Awesome. Love to have you.
And Don has an extensive network.
That's amazing.
Have you heard of the CTRL?
I have. Oh, I have.
Yes.
The space.
Unbelievable space.
Yes.
I support them regularly. They have several different locations.
Yes.
Great spot.
Yes.
Extremely expensive. So I'm transferring memberships.
So, funny enough, just last night at our business mixer, someone was telling me the exact same thing.
Yeah, great place though. And they offer a whole lot.
Yes.
But I'd love to support you.
Exactly.
And that's WeWorks is a little expensive too as well.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from some other people that were over there for a short period of time. Yep. And that's it. You want somewhere that's affordable, that you can stay there, because if you're building up your clientele and they know where to find you, or at least where to call to find you, or if you're gonna have a workshop, then that's better for your own, for your business.
Absolutely.
So we'll definitely, Don and I,
we'll be there.
And we'll be great brand ambassadors for you.
Do we get t-shirts?
Yes.
Okay, I'm a small.
Okay. I know somebody else that's a small as well. I have one or two of those.
One or two other. So and if you stay for our one of our guests, she's a branding expert.
Oh,
nice.
absolutely.
And a PR, so you can get some, because it really.
And she's a person you want to know. You have to hear her story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you because one of the things, I've been an entrepreneur for over 30 years, and one of the things that was most important to me when I first started was to make sure that I had an extensive network that could actually create a word of mouth momentum for me,
Yes.
and that has helped my business tremendously. Yes. I get calls. In fact, I was just telling Don that someone reached out. 2 people reached out. One I do know. One I don't know how and who referred me to her, but she texted me and said, "Can you speak?" I don't turn down speaking engagements, especially when it's for children. And so I was like, sure. And then she goes, "Oh, I just referred you to another client."
Oh.
I don't even know who you are, but thank you so much. So I'm still figuring out who that person is. But from the conversation from the client she referred, there's some conversation going on, which is great. When people are speaking of you and you don't even know that you're speaking. There was something I read one time that said, you have made it when someone else introduced you and they don't even need your bio.
Exactly.
Oh, absolutely.
You have already made it when
that means we're done.
We're done. Right, exactly. But that also means that all the things that you've established with your brand has been on the positive note, because people are having conversation, and when your name comes up, oh yeah, she'd be fantastic for that. So that's beautiful. What we want for the innovative entrepreneurs hub is that when people are going, hey, I need a workspace.
Here we are.
There you have it. We're going to make sure, and I have quite a few friends. We have quite a few people in the Bella Network. Have you heard of the Bella Network?
I have, actually.
Okay, you have to come over, because there are a lot of women.
Bella Network has something at the 26th of this month. There's this amazing young lady. She's talking on health and wellness, and she's going to teach you all about getting fit and eating good. She's dynamite. Really? You have to be there.
Yeah.
Really? It's the 26th or the 27th? 26.
26.
Okay.
So, but that would be great, because a lot of the women there have home-based businesses, and they're consultants. And so, that would be a great one.
And for us, it really is about those type of individuals, just so that you can have at home base, but have a little bit more professional front, so that you can meet your clients, you can talk to your clients in a more professional environment. Starbucks is great, but we want to give that professional environment.
And at least she's looking for new places to do an event. So this would be perfect for her. You have to meet her.
Yeah, you have to meet her. So you went from, because you have your bachelor's in psychology.
I do.
And jump right on into the business world. So
I did.
We're going to wrap up soon. But how did that happen? Usually those are two different worlds.
It really is. And Actually, I started my career in the corporate world. I was doing financial services and have a financial background in that regard. But it really, as far as entrepreneurship, it started with the nonprofit. I really wanted to just give back to my community. And like I mentioned, I just started going to different workshops and just learning more about how to be and operate a business. So it was just a natural progression.
Okay, and then you saw the need, a niche.
Absolutely. Yes. And I think ultimately for me, I've always been sort of a coach and that type of thing. So coaching and doing the business consulting, it's just all been a natural.
Yeah, and that kind of, because you use a lot of psychology.
You do.
And I have to use a lot of it just in the motivation, and I know you have to use it for the health and wellness.
You know how hard I have to work with you?
I know, boy.
Can you show it? Just joking. Just joking.
She bullies us. She beats us down. And then you see
I take bribes. I said, if you can bribe me with something, get it all over. Bribe me.
It won't be so hard.
It won't be so hard. Bribe me. I take bribes. All kind of bribes.
Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know.
So, but it is. That's a major component of coaching and consulting is the psychology of understanding how people think and how people react.
To listen and give that wise counsel.
Yeah. Well, we wish you so much success.
Much success.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and however we can help, we are definitely there for you. When I edit the video here, you will have that to
amazing
to put on your website and to use to market. Thank you. As you get the wisdom from Miss Evie over there.
Yes, we're taking notes.
Elvira, Ms. Guzman.
Yeah, when you get it from her, you're going to really be able to take this to the next level.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you guys for having us on and appreciate this opportunity. Yes. And want to just ask all of your listeners and your viewers if they could just follow us on Instagram and Facebook, Innovative Entrepreneurs Hub. And starting next week, we'll have some amazing announcements.
Awesome. Okay, for the grand opening.
Yes.
Well, we will definitely be looking forward to hearing all that you have and sharing whatever you have. So whatever you have, just send it out to us, and we will definitely work on it.
Sounds good.
All righty, we're going to take a quick break and bring up our next guest, and then so we'll be right back.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
We're focusing on our lower body. We're building those glutes, working those quads and hamstrings with a switch lunge combination, starting with your knee up, out to a side lunge, power back up to a knee, reverse lunge, and a switch. Knee, side lunge, knee, reverse lunge, and a switch. Come on, knee. Knee, side lunge, push off, knee, reverse lunge, and a switch. There you have it, our exercise of the week, a switch lunge combination. Now look for the full video with a complete workout. Go to getuperica.com and follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. See you on Monday.
She is. And welcome back to the Business Zone. You guys checked out Dawn. Boy, I'm going to be working hard. I'm going to have to go to sleep early on Sunday night.
Yeah, I need you ready for that workout of the week.
Because that sounded like that was pretty darn intense.
Well, guess what? I forgot to tell you that we're going to be doing Zumba every Thursday for the month of February.
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
No excuses now.
No excuses. You know I like Zumba. Mm-hmm. I love Zumba. So our next guest is Mrs. Zanetta J. Smith. Zanetta. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
She's the founder and CEO. I have a friend whose name is Zanetta.
No.
Recently named as Holman Community Development Corporation's Rising Champion. She is a fierce social worker by day and event producer by night. She also organized the TEDx Crenshaw. She's a graduate of Spelman College and the University of Illinois. She daydreams, travels, and eats at local restaurants. And she has a business that is called Color Society, right?
Yes, Color with a K.
Color with a K, and it's a member-only social club for persons of African diaspora. They are dedicated to creating equality events with South LA, within South LA and beyond as well, maintaining a hub for African diaspora community and culture. And then after organizing the TEDx Crenshaw, many people were asking for similar events and where to find them. So this is what Color Society is about?
It is.
Okay. So I don't think you were doing this when I met you and you were at my mastermind group.
Yeah.
I cannot remember.
So probably when I was in the mastermind group, I wrote, as a social worker at one of the jobs I had, I worked at a mentoring agency. I wrote a curriculum for African American males.
Yes, because most of the guys that were in we were having mastermind programs, and I had like 6 different mastermind going on one time, and each one had their own theme, and they had their own leader, and they did their own. It's peer-led mastermind group, and so actually, I think your group was the one that had the most people to come out that carried on their business. And they're still operating.
Yes, I do still follow at least one other person in my mastermind who's still doing his business.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and she whipped them in shape because we had to find out who was the leader. And so she rose to the top there.
Organized. I think, did we meet every week or every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks.
It was pretty consistent.
It was very consistent and went on for 12 weeks.
Yes.
How long ago was that?
That was probably about 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we had
4 years later?
4 years later, she's been doing some amazing things. And I guess I knew Rashonda was involved in the TED. I didn't know it was you that was
I am the mastermind behind the TEDx.
Oh, okay. So tell us about that and tell us how Don and are you still doing it?
Still doing TEDx Crenshaw, yes.
Yes, because I plan on being on that stage this year.
Well, applications are out right now. So get your email after and you'll know how you can sign up.
Okay.
So what inspired that, and how does one start their own chapter of TEDx?
Okay. So TED stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design. And about 15, 20 years ago, really happened with the world's kind of thinkers and doers and really what was coming out the pipeline.
Right.
And so when they noticed that there were so many other thinkers and doers in other communities, they decided to provide a platform called TEDx, and X stands for independently organized events. So it's representative of cities or streets. So you have TEDx Johannesburg, you have TEDx Soweto, you have TEDx Crenshaw, which is the first TEDx event in South LA. Since ours, we now have TEDx Watts, there's TEDx Wilmington. So there's some popping up in South LA, but you have TEDx Pasadena, TEDx Culver City.
Right.
So it's doers and thinkers and ideas representative of that community. And I was inspired to do that because I kept going to innovative events outside of my community. I was in Culver City, I was in Glendale a lot, and I was talking about tech and innovation, but I couldn't go 20 minutes from where I lived, and I was tired of traveling more than 20 minutes from where I lived.
Fantastic.
And I knew so many people like Crystal, like Rashonda, who had these nonprofits and businesses and were doing great things. And so I felt that I could provide the platform to help people market themselves and market their business and share ideas with the world. And so that started in 2015, and we've done it every year since then.
Congratulations.
Fantastic. Well, we definitely, I was talking to Gilbert, and he's like, how do I get on? How do I do this?
Right.
But I think that's phenomenal. And did the Color Society come out of that, or is that something that was brewing separately?
Good question. Actually, after every TEDx Crenshaw, people asked me for more events that blended the social, cultural, and intellectual. They said, we want more of this in the Crenshaw community. We want more of this in South LA. And it takes the team about 10 months to plan TEDx Crenshaw. And so I didn't think I could do it more.
Okay.
And so I told people no for about 2 to 3 years. I said, no, I'm looking for the same thing. So when you find it, just let me know.
Wow.
And when they kept asking me, I said, okay, I guess no one has done it yet, right? There are a lot of good Black events that happen in Hollywood, that happen downtown. There are even some Black events that happen in Culver City. But they're not quality Black events that are happening on a consistent basis where the majority of Black people live. Mm. And so thus bred Color Society, which really focuses on millennials and Gen Xers and blending those generations. But all ages are really welcome over 21. So we have, our oldest member is probably 61.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's phenomenal. In fact, some colleagues of mine have been talking, knowing that you guys, the millennials, have and the Gen Xers have these incredible ideas, and then those of us that have been out here for a long time are creating an environment so we can help you launch your businesses for the ones that are not you, because you are a super leader, but the ones that need to have just that guidance.
I still need all the help I can get.
And helping you guys, because really those lending organizations or businesses in the city, banks and other Vermont Slauson, they're looking for the millennial and Gen X, because you guys are our next generation, and I personally think that's where all our attention should be focused right now, because of what's going on in our communities, the lack of wealth in our communities. This week, as we all know, the topic that is trending is R. Kelly, right? Yes. And so, beyond all of the other stuff, which is horrendous, and there's so many different issues in there. There's women, there's self-esteem, there's parenting,
there's trauma, there's abuse.
Yeah, there's abuse. All of those things but one of the things that I think is the main thread is that economically, we are always, and I heard this, Dr. Boyce Watkins spoke on this, and his commentary was based on the economics. And he says that when you're in the Black and brown communities, money is at a scarcity, right? So more people can target you to offer you the pie in the sky, and you won't use all your rational thinking because you're operating from a place of lack.
That's exactly what he was doing.
And so he was able to offer you this amazing career that's going to make you wealthy, and the fame that goes along with that.
And that's why the families agreed in so many cases. 21 indictments that he was able to get off on.
Right.
In 2005, was it?
And because offering money, right? So we need to take ourselves out of those positions where we're vulnerable because of the lack of money.
Yes.
And so the only way to do that is to create businesses that are scalable, so that you're making significant amount of money. And anybody come up to you with a pie in the sky idea, you're like,
not jumping to take it.
Yeah, you're not jumping to take it because you know that's not how it works.
Right.
Because if somebody's handing you a pie in the sky, then what's the sacrifice? What's my sacrifice in order for me to do that?
Right.
And if I'm in business, my sacrifice is work and maybe some of my personal time, but I'm not giving of myself to put myself in a bad position where I can be harmed.
Right.
And so that's why I think the millennials and Gen X's are the ones to make that change.
Yeah.
So that you guys can offer a better world for your children. Because if it stands as it is right now, y'all's in some bad trouble. Y'all.
We're struggling.
Right.
This recession that's creeping up.
Right.
In the next
And
year
you got
or two.
somebody that's actually, which was very much how the recession we had in 2009 took place. It was manufactured.
Yeah.
It was manipulated
Right.
to be that. So what's going on in this world right now is manipulating a forced recession.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you had money and if jobs, you just take the 8 million for federal workers.
Right.
You know, when I was growing up, that was a thing our parents said, go get you a good job.
Yeah.
And that federal job,
Good
that good federal
benefits.
job, man.
Yeah.
And nobody, you always
And
have
now
a
it's
good
a
job.
government shutdown.
A government shutdown, and look at that, no money.
I have multiple friends right now who are furloughed.
Yeah, I have a young man in a class that I'm teaching. He's furloughed, and like, man, that, you know, those are what you were told to do. Go get you a good government job.
Everything millennials were told were wrong.
Yeah.
Everything. Just the system, no one. I guess, like you said, it's about the resources in the community, right? And
Right.
so maybe we didn't have the resources that told us what we needed to be doing when we were in college to prepare for what the recession did. And
And the recession and in college, they're teaching you to work for someone
Right.
else.
Right.
Yeah.
You're at someone else's mercy,
Yeah.
right? And one of the things, the worst things that took place with the recession is when you came out, and they also guaranteed that you would get a job at $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $85,000 a year, right?
Yes.
Go get your MBA, spend all that money, $250,000, and you're gonna be guaranteed a job for $85,000, and that didn't happen, did it?
No. All taken away
Nowhere near.
immediately.
Right. Whereas if we have to prepare our young people, both our Gen X's, our millennials, and our kids under that to be
Right.
entrepreneurial, because that gives you control.
I agree.
And with the internet, you have accessibility to the world to do
Right.
business.
Right.
So if this world ain't working, then I'll
Right.
go to another world, make
Yes,
that
then
work,
go to
and I'll
another.
come back when you
Exactly.
working. But I can help you rework
Right.
because
Yes.
now I'm fueling it
Yes.
with money.
Yes, and that's what I like about Color Society being about the African diaspora, right? Because it's about Black people all over the world. It's about your Black Mexicans, your Black Caribbeans, right? Your Black Trinidadians, right? And how can we all talk about what life is like in those places and learn from each other? Because you have a lot of business owners in those places, right? Because that is a natural thing that happens
Right.
in kind of low economic countries, is that people have to start their own businesses to live. A lot of students don't go to school and work with their families because of that. We just so happen to live in a country where school is free. Right? And so that is the beauty, I think, of Color Society, too, is that because it's this global mindset and we're really able to explore what's going on with Black people across the world, then we know these things and we know the possibilities, and we can come to the events and discuss the possibilities and really have it as a platform to really keep the knowledge going.
And that expands your marketplace, because
Right.
when you really
Right.
think about the African diaspora, which is basically anyone that's come from the continent of Africa, and in those other places, just because that's where the slave ship stopped.
Right. Right.
But ultimately,
Pretty
that's who
much.
they are, right? And then when you look at other cultures who don't, they don't connect with that,
Right.
because America, we focused on that,
Right.
because you know what our slavery was,
Right.
but in other countries, it was different.
Yes.
And something I was watching recently, I think it was on last Sunday, and they were talking about the Black in Mexico, that actually in one country, one of the little cities, that she was showing Henry Gates did a documentary,
Okay.
and how it started out with the slaves, and they purposely diluted the color down, and they showed you each level and each group, because the Spaniards were there, and how they diluted it, and they each had names, but it started from African slaves, and it meandered down until they integrated with integration or interracial mating, until now it was all a lighter color.
Wow.
And this is over generations.
Right, yeah.
And so the lady was saying, she was like, yeah, and when she did her DNA, she found out she was Black. She's like, wow.
And she had no idea.
She had no idea.
Yeah.
But But again, that was done purposely.
Yeah.
And so there is a whole, so when you take the entire African diaspora from here, from the Caribbean, the Islands, and Mexico,
South
the Caribbean, South America, we are actually a very large population. We're huge population,
huge.
which could majorly make some impact. But if you keep us separated and keep us fighting, the black and brown fighting with each other, then you don't come together, right? And that was all systematically done on purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that's phenomenal. So what are some of the events that you guys do? And
Yes, so we have monthly mixers, actually in partnership with the guest speaker you just had, Rashonda Renee.
Okay.
Innovative Entrepreneurs Hub. So we have monthly mixers at Mingle's Tea Bar in Inglewood. Business and tech.
Oh, wait a minute. I've seen you guys all over the internet.
Yes, that's
This is where the real two cute, handsome guys work, right? This is where it is, right?
We did. We've
That's
had
where it is, right?
Oh, I guess.
Yeah. You know, you sent me there, didn't you?
No, I didn't see
The Mingle place right
Mingle's
here in
Tea Bar in
Mingle's
Inglewood,
Tea Bar.
right off Crenshaw Boulevard.
You haven't seen the tea
I've
bar?
never been there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You need to go. He got calves. I was really not looking, but anyway, this is
So we have monthly business and tech mixers to highlight individuals who are doing business and technology. Really have it as a hub for South LA. We're so close to Silicon Beach, right? And there's so many people of color that are doing tech and business. And so we have a speaker every month. And so just yesterday was our first mixer of the year. We had Lauren Wampa. She is the head of social impact at Headspace, the meditation app.
Yes.
And so we're thinking next month we'll probably do something around taxes, business and personal taxes.
Where can we get this information? We're missing all the good stuff.
Yeah, you can find it at colorsociety.com.
Okay.
I'm sure once Rashonda opens the co-working space that they'll have it on their platform as well.
Okay.
You have an Instagram?
We do have an Instagram at Color Society, Color with a K, and a Facebook. And then Color Society also has signature events throughout the year. And the beautiful thing about Color Society is that events are member curated. So members can lend what they want to hear and what they want to know. So in 2018, all of our programming was what members said that they wanted. So they said they wanted to celebrate Black History. So we had a Black History Month event in February. They said they wanted to have a conversation on peer-to-peer mental health awareness.
Really?
So they didn't want to have doctors on the panel. They wanted to have individuals with lived experience. So I have depression. How did I have to talk to my friends about my depression? How did I have to talk to my friends about my bipolar disorder? And then how did my friends not freak out? And so we had that conversation.
Wow.
Yeah. June, we launched the TEDx Crenshaw speakers. So we did a meet and greet with the TEDx Crenshaw speakers. August, we had a day party on Crenshaw Boulevard at Crenshaw Yoga and Dance.
I didn't even know anything about her, yes, but no. Wow.
Yeah, so they're all member curated. And then we have partner events. So TEDx Crenshaw is one of the partner events. We also do the South LA Hackathon. And so the South LA Hackathon will be coming up in March. It really is a way to get people to tap into the design thinking and what is design thinking, how can you solve problems with it. And so it's an all-day event that we've been doing that since 2015.
Okay.
And so the winner from that gets to speak on the TEDx Crenshaw stage.
What? I'm looking for you on Facebook.
Facebook at Color Society, Color with a K.
K with a K.
Okay, Color Society. On
Wow,
Facebook?
that's-
Okay.
Yes.
I don't have to put in the ad, but
Okay.
this is you here?
That's me there.
Okay. That's absolutely amazing. I didn't know you were doing all of that, but definitely let me know some information. There's a lot, I do a summer biz camp with kids. I teach them how to become entrepreneurs.
Very nice. I think I've seen the marketing.
Yeah, so
yes.
we do two sessions of 3-week intensive building a business and it's a curriculum that I teach.
Nice.
And we usually have 25 kids per session, so about 50 kids we teach over the summer. But this year we're going to expand that out to a weekly or bi-monthly where we're bringing in other individuals to talk to the kids on how to continue to build their business. So a lot of the kids have technology or are interested in tech. So we're helping our children become entrepreneurs and helping.
Yes.
And we want them actually to launch their businesses.
That's awesome.
So they have phenomenal ideas. So let's see if we can do some partnering up with that because I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'll be open to it.
Yeah, because you guys have a junior extension would be great because you're just building them and bringing them right on through.
It's a cool idea.
When they're ready, yeah.
And we're also always looking for youth speakers for TEDx Crenshaw, so it'd be nice. It's always difficult for us to find a young person to speak on the stage. It doesn't matter the age.
Oh,
yeah, but
I have some awesome kids.
Yeah, we're always
that-
looking for awesome people from awesome young people from this area to be speakers on the stage.
Yeah, because that's one
quite
of
a few we can send your way.
Yeah, because a lot
That'd
of our
be great.
kids,
Please do.
they learn. Some of them already come with the skills, but they're through that time frame. They're speaking throughout the whole in 3 weeks, and then they're presenting at a at like a Shark Tank kind of environment, and presenting on the businesses that they created.
Yes.
And so, let's talk about that.
Maybe an alum of the BizCamp who's kept their business going. That would be really great.
Yeah, because that's what we want to do is bridge that gap with the younger, which is the Gen Z, right?
Gen Z. I think Gen Z.
Yeah, so that they're already ready by the time they become of age, like the X's and the millennials.
Right.
Well, you have been doing some phenomenal things, young lady.
You.
I'm so proud of you. In fact, since you
so
came,
nice to meet you.
The mastermind group, the Urban League. One of the things we just talked about the other day is reaching back to everyone that's come through the Urban League programs, whether I was teaching it or Rhonda was teaching it or whomever would come through, but have created their level of success and made movement with whatever they came there. So we're going to get
that'll be awesome.
Yeah, because we were just saying that we want to highlight that exactly for the people that have been coming through.
Yeah,
that came through our programs.
Okay.
Well, I am so proud. I have to tell Miss Rhonda about you.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah,
Give her my love.
I think I ran into her at Hot and Cool.
Yes.
And I'm like, wait a minute, I know you.
So one last time, when's the next event over at the Hot Spot?
The next event at Mingo's Tea Bar is going to be in February, probably the first week in February. So
we'll be there.
Okay.
Early.
Awesome. And the first Color Society event is going to be February 1st at the Metaphor Club.
Okay.
On Crenshaw Boulevard.
The lounge.
Yeah, so it's going to be about Black love and all-male panel.
Really?
Oh, I'd like to know about that. It'd be interesting.
Yes. So that's a member-curated event, too. Members said, I want an all-male panel, and I want it to be about Black love. It's like, okay.
Awesome.
You guys are doing some awesome stuff because it's about the conversation. It's about being able to talk about those uncomfortable situations and topics, but at the same time learning about those so we can be better. We need to be a better community and a better society.
Exactly.
And it can only happen through conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm going to connect with you on Facebook and send me whatever information. I got your information and I'll pass it on. And when we let's talk about how we can bridge and create an alum with you guys, with our young kids. Okay. Because that would be fantastic. And I got actually a couple of friends that have organizations for young people. Okay. I have two guys. They have a program called Manhood Camp, and they're teaching kids how to be self-sufficient.
Oh, nice. That's needed.
Yeah, and they're all young black, and then they have a program called the Fatherhood Circle, so that every last Friday of the month or Saturday of the month, they bring dads to sit down and have conversations about how they get to their children and how to navigate through that. There's some distinction between the mother and the father, and then also programs to help them make sure that they have their visitation rights for their kids.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. Okay. So that probably they could, and they're all young.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so we'll see what we can do to make sure.
I will send you all the information, including the link for TEDx Crenshaw.
Oh, thank you. No, that's me telling me it's 4:15. That is fantastic. I am just so proud of both of you for what you're doing for our community. I've been working in our community for 30 years, so I'm glad that we're passing the torch over to very complicated individuals that can handle.
Thank you.
Because we're a special community.
Yeah, we are. We are.
And it requires some strong people working in our community.
That is the truth.
So you're very competent and you're passionate and you're committed and dedicated to it. And then we want to know how we can, where's the application for the TEDx and what's required?
You should have came in the door with them applications, girl.
It's all digital.
Okay,
So
we'll
I'll send it to you. It's really word of mouth.
Okay.
And so it's about whoever reached out to us. So if any of your listeners are interested in being on the TEDx Crenshaw stage, you just email speaker@tedxcrenshaw.com.
Okay.
Speaker@tedxcrenshaw.com, and we'll add them on the list and we'll send them an email.
And what's the criteria?
Criteria is we really favor individuals who are from South LA, live in South LA, or your business brand idea affects the members of South LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I qualify. You qualify too.
Speaker at Ted Crenshaw.
Speaker@tedxcrenshaw.com.
Okay.
You send your information there. Let us know you want an application, and we'll send it to you. The deadline is February 15th.
Okay. All right. Is it intensive or what's
It's not an intense. You mean the application?
Yeah.
No, it's not an intense application at all.
And what's the time frame from when you fill out the application and once you're accepted? Is there, because there's some preparation that goes on to be a TED.
A lot of preparation, yeah. So you'll probably find out before May if you got on the stage, and then we work with Toastmasters in LA, and they serve as our coaches for the speakers, and we have multiple rehearsals throughout the year. Definitely about 3 required, probably 6 or 7 in total to prepare the person for their talk.
And is there a cost related to it?
For a speaker?
Uh-huh.
No, there's not.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So they'll know by May, and when do they actually do the talk?
October.
Okay.
TEDx Crenshaw is always the first Saturday of October.
And you are a Toastmaster, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that has absolutely been phenomenal. We're going to go for a break, take a quick picture with the two ladies,
Awesome.
and then we're going to set up for our next guest. And you guys are going to get some great information from her as well.
Cool.
Okay. All righty.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
It's your girl Dawn, and I'm back with your Get Up and Move exercise of the week. We're focusing on our lower body. We're building those glutes, working those quads and hamstrings with a switch lunge combination, starting with your knee up, out to a side lunge, power back up to a knee, reverse lunge, and a switch. Knee, side lunge, knee, reverse lunge, and a switch. Come on, knee. Knee, side lunge, push off, knee, reverse lunge, and a switch. There you have it, our exercise of the week, a switch lunge combination. Now look for the full video with a complete workout. Go to getuperica.com and follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. See you on Monday.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business.
And welcome back to the Business Zone with Crystal,
Dawn,
and Gilbert, who will be here next week. So we've been having a lively conversation with two amazing young women, and I am just so proud of both of them because they've been doing their own thing, and I just didn't even know about it, which is unusual.
Yeah,
I know about everything.
Yes, they are phenomenal young ladies.
Phenomenal, and I wish you all the best of luck.
We're gonna be right there with y'all as y'all scale. We're gonna be right there soaring. Yes,
so we can help out,
talking and everything.
Yeah, definitely. So now our next phenomenal young lady.
Yes, a young lady I love with all of my heart. She's actually responsible for a lot of the success that I am having and have had in the past. In her late teens, she worked 2 jobs at the Steve Harvey Company while working towards her degree in political science at the University of Southern California. In her early 20s, she was a director of publicity for Steve Harvey shows and a college graduate with honors. It is this hard work ethic and determined spirit that is the fuel behind her success. It is her dedication, her attitude that she brings to each of her clients. I can attest to that. She's absolutely amazing. After years of working with the Steve Harvey Company in the entertainment industry, she launched Elvira GPR to offer her unique set of skills to a broader audience. Her experience, her energy, she's absolutely amazing. She's here as the author of 3 books, and soon to launch her own television show. She is a super success. I am so excited to have with us today Elvira Guzman.
Well, welcome. We are so happy to have you, and there's congratulations in order for our family member that just had a baby.
Thank you so much. And yes, my nephew just had a baby, so I'm a great aunt.
Oh, so what is it?
It's a girl. Her name is Luna.
Oh, sounds pretty. Yeah, because Don had, we were trying to get you on the show earlier, and it was the day of, I guess, babies being born.
Yes.
So we excused you for that.
Yes.
Well, welcome to the show. Wow, you're in your late teens. You knew what you wanted to do.
Yes, when I was 12 years old, I knew I wanted to be on TV because my mom's mom would take care of me occasionally when the babysitter or nanny was not around. And she would only watch 1 hour of TV a day, and it was someone called Cristina, who's equivalent to Oprah, but in Spanish.
Okay.
And the rest of the time, she was like, no, she was like, your parents didn't come to this country for you to slack off and watch TV. You need to read those encyclopedias and do something with your life. So at a very young age, I seen the admiration she had for Cristina, and so I was like, I want to be that person on TV so I can make my grandmother smile.
Oh.
And so I knew what I wanted to do when I was 12, but it took me a journey to get there.
Well, how did you get to journey on up to Steve Harvey?
Well, I was 18 years old, fed up with life. I was working at a pizza restaurant, and I hated it. And I listened to the radio, and Steve said some very encouraging words about God. And I'm a very God-fearful person, so I didn't really know who he was because at that time it was just the Kings of Comedy, which I hadn't watched, and his morning radio show, which I wasn't up to listen to because I was going to school.
Okay.
So I was like a non-fan, but I loved what he said. And so he said, if you want to be an in-studio audience member for my my radio show fax in. And so I faxed in, I won tickets, and I fell in love with the vibe of a radio studio. Because at that time, I had just been in the vibe of a pizza shop or a regular business, and nobody was really that excited to be there. So you could feel it when you walk into a room. But when you walk into a radio room, all of this energy that you guys leave behind stays here in the studio, and you could feel it when you walk in. And so I didn't know what it was because I couldn't articulate myself in that way when I was 18, but I just knew that I had to be there every day because that was going to make me want to live, because at that time I was suicidal. I didn't feel much hope, but I knew that was an area in my life that was good. So of course they were like, you need a degree to work at a radio station, and I was like, don't worry, I'm going to college. I'm a good student, even though it was my first semester. I got an internship, and Steve seen the value in my work because I would show up to my internship 2 hours early and I would leave 2 hours late. And I did everything that everybody else didn't want to do. And he hired me 3 months later, and I became his right-hand person within 6 months.
Wow.
And what's interesting is, you're pretty much the only PR person he's had, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. He's a very special person to represent, and so you have to have a personality kind of like me and Dawn's, where you're very upbeat and positive, so that we could help carry him when he's not so upbeat and positive. And if you're a person that's already like at a medium, he's not going to be able to work with you because you're just going to bring him down, and you're going to be out of there quicker than you walked in the door. And so he's only worked seriously with me.
Now I've had the chance to see her in action because I was actually living in New York City as Steve Harvey's trainer at one of when she was actually sitting in his big chair, running his life. And when I say that, you know, the show is about, we teach information on how to successfully run your business. How do you start a business from start to finish? And she's a great example. She had an opportunity, and from that opportunity she had with Steve, she ended up launching her own business, and now she represents some amazing people in the industry. Everyone knows of Vara Guzman. Everyone knows this young lady. So she has a lot to share. She has a lot to share, and it was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. It
was truly a pleasure.
Meeting Dawn was a breath of fresh air because in the entertainment industry, especially when you work for people that has such a high level, it's hard to make people smile. It's hard to make them loosen up just a little bit. So when I met Dawn, I knew that we were going to be friends forever. And you've been so kind to me, but thanks to Dawn, I have this little body. And I say little because when I graduated USC, right after I met her, I had... and I called it my ballooned up because my body wasn't used to carrying that much weight because I played sports my entire life. And I told you a little earlier, I went to Mount Sac before USC and I played volleyball. So I was used to doing about an hour and a half of weight training and an hour and a half of cardio. So when I took that away, I took my gym shoes away and replaced them with high heels. I just ballooned up and my body was not used to carrying that weight. So I would have pains and I felt depressed. And Dawn came into Steve's life and I couldn't afford her, of course, but Steve could. And so I was like, can you help me? And she was always so nice. And she gave me a diet and I got back to my regular weight to where I felt comfortable, because when you're bigger than you're used to your whole life, you don't want to go out. You don't want to meet up with friends. And if you have a relationship, it'll go bad because of how you feel about yourself. Right. And so she helped me out a lot in that moment. And yes, I've been so fortunate that I started my company at 22 years old. And at that time, a lot of people were saying, you're crazy. What are you doing? You're too young. You work with Steve Harvey. You have like an easy ride. But at that time, I already had been working for him for 5 years and I signed all his checks. I seen all the money coming in and I was like, I make 1 year what he makes in 1 Monday, and I'm doing a lot of the work. So I know that if I just apply myself...
Except for telling those jokes.
Right, but I can't do that.
But other than that, but people, it's more than telling the jokes. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, you have to have somebody in all the areas where you're weak is what he taught me. And so I realized that if he was a celebrity that I helped bring from A to, let's say, R, I could bring a lot of other celebrities up until that point, until I feel like, okay, now you need full-time people that are with you 90% of the time, which is something I'm not willing to do anymore.
Right.
So what exactly goes into getting from A to R? I mean, because you're talking branding is creating that brand, because a lot of us don't recognize how important having a brand is and what that does for your business.
Absolutely. So when I met Dawn, this conversation would not matter. But because of social media and because of the internet, now it's the most important conversation you could have when you sit down with a brand strategist. You have to have your website. You have to be Googleable. You have to have all of your social media intact. You have to watch it like a hawk to make sure nobody's posting anything that could possibly hinder you from getting a sponsorship or a job. So it's kind of like your resume, but it's alive and people can actually like write on it. So step one is to get you from A through, I would say, F, is to make sure that your online presence is intact, because if you have that, everything else is going to be a lot easier for you for someone like me to get you in the door, or to get you that magazine cover, or to get you that first national TV show. If a client comes to me and they're not Googleable, it's going to take them a lot of money for me to focus that amount of time into them to get them from 1 through F, because that's the hardest part.
Okay.
Yeah, she got me in Essence magazine.
Oh, okay.
Ebony.
Yeah.
Cool. I do a teach or collaborate with someone. We teach a digital marketing class, and one of those is how to create multiple streams of income from that, writing your blogs and so forth. So you could drive viewers and traffic back to your site for the purpose of making money. And it's interesting. Third Wednesday when we do it, one of the young ladies recognized that social media is obviously that is the core of creating multiple streams of income online, right? So she asked one of the other ladies, "Can you like me on Facebook?" And the lady's like, "No." And so the young lady went, "But you need Facebook."
Right, yes.
I mean, in order to create millions of, large sums of money in digital marketing, you have to have Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and all of those. And you have to be constantly adding to that.
What would you say are the number one social media platforms you need to have? Because there's so much out there. Would you say it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube? Would you say those are the top 4?
It really depends what you do.
What you do, good answer.
So you have to analyze that. Like, for instance, if I'm really great at telling jokes, or I'm great in front of the camera like you are, YouTube would be the most important, because people tune in, they'll watch video after video.
Right.
If you're someone like me that I am trying to sell books, I'm trying to get people to believe in themselves, IG is a great place, because I'm going to trick them into believing in themselves, because they're on there to just look at fluff.
Yes.
And I'm going to be like, no, I'm going to draw you in little by little.
Okay.
Right.
So
it really depends on the person, but I would say in general, YouTube, IG, and Facebook. Twitter's a little obsolete right now, unless you're trying to live tweet a show or something like that. People don't really go there to read the content anymore. Everything's more about IG.
Right.
And the only reason Facebook is starting to be relative now is because of the Facebook Watch that they started, which now Red Table Talk is the number one talk show. And they're seeing that, and that's why a lot of talk shows this week have been canceled, and they're rethinking the new structure moving forward.
To be on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah, everything is online. Back in the day, you had to be in front of a TV at 3 p.m. to watch Oprah. Those days are like robot days.
Right.
Like, that was a long time ago. Now we're advancing to a new level where I hope one day we could go into a store and they could scan my eyes and take money out of my account. Okay. That's where we're going.
I think there are places like that in Asia. I think they're doing that already in Asia. So you're going to launch your TV show.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was just in talks about, I have a lot of opportunities, and I'm really grateful, but because I want to do my structure like Oprah, where she owned her show. And the example I give to others is, why is Oprah not doing infomercials like Montel Williams? And the difference is because Montel never owned his show and Oprah did. And so I don't want to go and be a slave to a network. I want to create my own content, and I want to help people, but then I want to be the owner. So the money from the commercials, I could then go into the smaller communities and help abandoned kids, molested kids, domestic abuse victims, and not use the money for their own selfish.
Oh, that's fantastic. So it'll be a talk show?
A talk show, similar to Oprah's show. I don't want to steer too much from that, but I want to include a little more positivity, a little more entertainment. And for instance, like, one of the ideas I have is to bring Dawn on the show, kind of like how Iyanla Vanzant went on Oprah's show and took over for the hour. My show is not coming from a place of ego. It's coming from a place of helping the community. So if I feel Dawn's story could help with fitness the way I can, I'll have her come and do a whole episode. If I feel I've never been sexually abused, but I know that there's 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys that have, so I'll have my friend Rosie Rivera come and do a whole show to help the community. So I'll be handpicking certain people to do my show. So as of right now, I have several deals on the table, but I'm being very careful about who I go with and who I develop with, because at the end of the day, I have to always be owner of 51% because no one's going to change the contract.
Yes.
That is phenomenal.
And you can be selective because I hear the man is walking you in. He's opening the door for you.
Yes. Which one?
Steve.
Which one? Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes. I am working with Steve,
yes.
and he is one of the opportunities. And this Monday, I have a meeting with Will Smith and his company, Overbrook Productions, to talk about 4 projects that I'm working on, one being an international speaking tour so that we can help the masses, because once I did tours with Steve Harvey for comedy or Music Soul Child with love songs, I realized that we infected that community with happiness, because then they would be happy to their wives or their coworkers, their dogs when they went home. So now what if we did a speaking tour with Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, me, and Rosie Rivera, where we all have different stories, but now we could go into our communities and inject happiness.
Yes.
And so I also want to do a global award show, because I feel award shows for music and acting are just making our community and our kids want to be celebrities.
Yes.
And I want to do an award show where instead of wanting to be a celebrity, you're going to want to do your God work, because you might get selected to be a recipient of one of my awards. So best mentor, best high school teacher.
That's fantastic.
All of that.
Yeah,
and that's all very prevalent right now. When I was talking about R. Kelly, is because that carrot of being in the entertainment world, and there's a lot that goes along with that. That's not always the most positive, especially if you don't have well-rounded individuals. If they are already damaged from coming from a place of damaged self-esteem or depression or what have you, then that may not be the best experience for you.
Right.
And especially if you don't have something from within to pull on in order to pull you up out of those places when it gets bad, because it can get bad. That's phenomenal. One of the reasons we created the Business Zone was for the business world, the same place, giving them individuals or businesses a platform to come talk about their businesses and what they were doing, or their organizations, or and as well as is in our communities, to know that you can be an entrepreneur. For some people, they have to hear it over and over and over again, and bringing our knowledge to them to say, yeah, I can do that, and I'm inspired by that, and then we can help them as business coaches and consultants. And I think that's that's a responsible place to be.
Right.
Definitely.
That's very important.
One thing that my parents instilled in me was to be a business owner. Growing up, my parents never reported to anybody. They had employees. So growing up, I always knew that was going to be my future. So even working for Steve for 5 years without having my own business was very uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
I didn't like people telling me when to show up, when I could leave, when I could take my lunch break. For me, but I was used to seeing my parents tell people to do that. And so I always knew that was going to be my life. And that's why when I started my business at 22, when most people are just getting their job for first time after college, I was ready. I was ripe, and I was so ready to get it. And that's why I was so successful, thank God.
What was so blown away for me was she wasn't let go. She was at a great place with the company when she left the seat. Now, I know quite a few people have been there over 10, 15 years. She left the company to go build her own. And I remember when I got hired with them, and Rashawn, Steve wanted me to stay. Steve was like, you got to get Rashawn, let you stay. Rashawn is Steve's man. You got to get Rashawn. And Rashawn was like, no, you need to go and build your business. He said, you don't want to get stuck here as the trainer, waiting around because it was a lot of wait around and wait for something to happen. So I waited around. I fed him 6 meals a day, but I still waited around for him to get ready to train. Sometimes he didn't want to train. So I was sitting, having fun, enjoying myself. And Steve wanted me to stay. And Rashawn was like, no, you have to go. You have to go build this thing. And to see you have an amazing opportunity to learn and take all those things that you learn, all those relationships, and be able to put me in front of the people I need to be in front of to get into Ebony Magazine. Thank you for that. I was in Black Enterprise. I was on the back cover. I made it in there.
That was the biggest section.
Yes. And I had an interview. Phenomenal. I had like a 3-series interview with them. Elvira did a whole lot for me. I applaud you for taking, because what's interesting is there are a lot of people, a lot of mothers are in positions where they're helping with their kids' careers. And they get the opportunity to talk to some of the people that you talk to, because they're answering the phone to set the appointment. So they're playing the role that you play for their kids. But all they see themselves doing is, I'm just getting my kid to some success. They don't see the value in the relationships that they're building that will allow them to start their own business or help someone else. So for a mother that may be listening, or for just a young entrepreneur that's listening, what advice can you give them about being put in a unique situation where you got the context and you're how do you scale a business from there? What can you tell them?
I would always suggest for them to first start by doing a spiritual cleanse, because you need to get direction from God in order to know what way you're supposed to go. So when you have all of that chaos, aka stress, bills, kids, baby fathers, dealings, there's no way that you're able to hear God, because God is always talking to you. So the first step is to go somewhere in nature, maybe the ocean or maybe a mountain, and meditate, be in silence, and genuinely from your heart ask God, what is my next step? What am I supposed to do with my life? And God will answer you if you've worked the chaos out of you. And if you still can't hear God, then sit there for 2-3 hours, go the next day, and then look for signs. Maybe God will give you a number that you're supposed to Google, or maybe you'll sit down with someone like Dawn that's so spiritual and she'll feel it from God and tell you, because you're not able to receive it. But that's the number one step. And I always say, in order to find your purpose and your calling in life, this is something that Steve Harvey taught me before I even knew the word purpose. He said, Elvira, what are you the best at with the least amount of effort? That is what God wants you to do.
Absolutely.
And when he told me that, the first thing I thought, I was like, well, I'm the best writer in the world, but who's going to pay me to be a writer? I'm 21 years old. And I showed him my book that I had written in secret because I didn't want no one to read it. And he was like, oh my God, this is phenomenal. But you are right. You are too young. He was like, but when I write a book one day, you're going to be on the writing team. And that's how I helped him write Act Like Lady, Think Like a Man. And that's how that whole thing started. And since then, I've helped many celebrities write books, and we're turning it into films also. So it's always what you do the best with the least amount of effort. And when you do it, time can pass by. You don't even get hungry. You don't crave nothing, not even people talking to you, because you're like in the zone. That's how you know what your gift is. But then you have to learn, how can I make money from it? So with me writing, I can make TV shows, I can make films, I can make great social media posts, because I get 95% of my money from social media. I could do a lot of things with writing. I write people's court stuff, get $5,000-$10,000 for an afternoon of writing. It's amazing. You just have to learn how to make your gift give you back, so that then you could give to others. Because if you forget that last component of giving to others, God will take away all of that.
Right. Is that what this book is about?
Yes. This is actually my simplest book that I've written, because my first book was at a level 7, second book level 5, this one's at a level 3. Okay. Because I realized only 10% of people read books, and out of that 10%, they only read one book a year. Right. So if I'm going to get a non-reader to read a book, it has to be that quick. And so I put about 200 books of content in those little pages, and I did it in a way that a middle school person could read the book, and then they'll receive it and want to apply the lessons. So I'm waiting to see what the turnaround will be for this one, because my second book, The Kardashians, promoted it for me for free because it helped Rob start to get him out of his depression. Thank you. So I'm waiting to see what impact this will have on the world. So I'm excited.
I'm sure it's going to have an impact. Absolutely. This is how to awaken.
You are so impactful.
And stay awake.
Just so much energy and just wisdom for someone that started a business at 22. Most people are just trying to figure out what life is supposed to be about. But I do think that there's a big thing. I'm a third generation entrepreneur, and I think when you have parents or grandparents that were entrepreneurs, they say that there's 3% of the population that were born to be entrepreneurs, and I know I was born to be. Even when I went to school, got out of school, I even used working in corporate America as my next level of education. And then about 15 years after, it's like, okay, it's time to go. And I never went back. And like you said, you're absolutely right. And Steve was right. If you're doing and the gift that God gave you, it is not work. It is just something that you do, and you pull it all together, and you love. When I manifested the radio show,
and you do it for free,
I manifested. This is something. I was interviewed by Mother Love, and when I got done, I went, wow. this is where I'm supposed to be in front of and I never had that desire before. I didn't do Toastmasters or any of that. I read a lot. I had a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, a lot of content that I had been collecting over the years. And when I came off her show, a girlfriend of mine's called. She goes, "So what do you think?" I said, "I want to do this." Yeah. And so she's like, "Okay, so when?" Well, I don't know when. I just know this is what I want to do. And so she forced me to give her a date. And I gave her a date. And so 1 year to that date was when this show launched. And then I looked for an individual that would be committed to the show and that we had a synergy in business. And I knew that's what it was going to be about, the information and helping businesses become successful. And so now we're in our third year.
And now you have to take it to Premier Radio Network so you can get it syndicated.
So we need to talk to you about making that happen because that's where we would like to be. We did have, the first year, someone came, Joseph Collins from Punch TV came and wanted us to do a show, but he right.
Just a little too much control.
I know him
at the time.
Yeah, and it was at the time.
Just too much control.
The content would have been theirs, but the content is also this content for this show. And I produced this show. I was like, no, I'm not feeling that. And then he got upset with the fact that we sat down with some individuals that are in the industry and had them look at it. We had an attorney look at it, and he wasn't thrilled with that. It's like, okay, well.
But the good news was that someone was interested in the show. That the content she brings and information was good enough to make it to the show. So God's timing is perfect.
Yeah, so now, and then he just brought me somebody that can make that happen.
Yeah, and people like that are a dime a dozen. He also came to my publicity company because he needed help to raise funds for his company, but he couldn't even afford me. So don't feel bad about people like that.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, what is it? And Gilbert and I were fine with that. We'll just keep doing what we're doing. We'll keep expanding what we're doing and the conversation and the quality of guests on the show.
Yeah, research Premier Radio Networks, and I'll be more than happy to make an introduction and be a producer, aka get my low cut.
Okay, we won't have a problem.
Yeah, and I can make it happen really quick. You already have the content.
Okay, so this is something would be of interest in the...
Yeah, because this is simple. You guys already did the work for 3 years. All I have to do is have you send me a little sizzle, and I set up a meeting. It'll take me like one text message, and I just show up to the meeting. And then if they like your content, which means that's why you're in the meeting, or we wouldn't waste your time. And then we'll start to see if they could sell your show. So we might start with 4 markets in Texas, and if they like it, then they'll sell it to New Mexico, another 3 markets, and then it keeps moving. Hopefully, we took Steve's syndicated radio show from 4 markets to 78 markets in 1 year. Wow. And to give you an idea, because I didn't sign an NDA, so I'm clear to say all the deals that I helped in, is he would get one check every Monday for $250,000 every Monday, 52 weeks a year, for doing radio a few hours in the morning. So I know how much money syndicated radio can make. So if you have good content and you have connections, those things are possible.
Okay, and I can talk to you about the sizzle reel.
Yeah, and I can get my cut too.
Yeah, exactly. And Don,
Don,
we have such a great synergy as well that she really brings a certain energy to the show. Gilbert and I, we feed off each other really, really well, and then she and I as well. And we wanted it to be for our communities, it needs to be information that, one, we've experienced, and 2, we're willing to provide, and the how-tos, the step-by-step. Yeah. This is how you go to do this. And the encouragement and the motivation behind that. And so that's what, and then our guests, I was pretty blessed that when I started the show, when the idea was there, I already had like a 20-year network of individuals. So for the first 2 years, I didn't even have to look for anyone beyond my own content, my own phone book, and just make some phone calls. And they're like, yeah, sure. Now we're bringing on, and at that point it was just everybody that I knew in the business community. And
did you know it's almost always mandatory when God has you progress in chapters? You can't do it alone, or you can't do it with the context you had. You have to step out of yourself, out of your box, and reach and be a little embarrassed. Yeah, and that's how you prove to God that you really want it. Right, and then that's when you get bumped right up.
Yeah. And I believe that. I believe that. I think God just takes you and moves you, and if you're willing to follow,
Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of times we fight to follow, right? We get in our own way. But if you're willing to follow him and he's directing, you're like, okay, I'm just like you on the right.
She said something earlier that's so true. We got to get rid of the clutter so we can hear what God's saying.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
And if I may, in my last book, there's 2 chapters dedicated to that, and I just want to briefly tell your audience how to do it because it's so important. All you have to do is get a white piece of paper, get in a room, no TV, no phone, and on half put a line in the middle of the paper, and on this side let your mind go. And all of the negative thoughts that come, I'm fat, I'm stupid, I'm ugly, I'm never going to be enough, I'm never going to have this, or what, write all that down. Once it stops, because it'll stop after about 30 minutes because it has nowhere else to run if it keeps telling you those things, and all you're doing is writing them down and not internalizing them and getting upset about it. When you're done with that, you're like, are you sure nothing else? Are you sure? No more junk in there? Okay, cool. And then when you're done, on the other half of the piece of paper, write 3 lines on every thing that was negative and then debunk them. I'm not fat. I am a perfect size for my body. I am gorgeous and I'm sexy.
Yes.
And then you read this side 10 times, and what you're doing, very smart but very simplistic, is you're retraining your brain.
Absolutely.
So all of the memory cells that go directly to the I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm not good enough, well, now the cells will directly go to I'm good enough, I'm sexy, and I'm a badass.
Absolutely. And I teach that with my clients when I'm trying to get them in shape. We identify, because if you don't know what you're dealing with, you don't know what you need to change. What are the things that's keeping you from becoming your absolute best? Write down those habits, those bad habits, but then I also teach them that bad habits are there for a reason. If you're smoking, it's there for a reason. So you need to create a new habit that actually serves the purpose that the bad habits serve. But you got to know why you're smoking. What's the root to your smoking? Write those things down, all your bad habits, and write down how you're going to counter that. But then understand also what that bad habit is replacing. Because if you're not replacing it, serving the purpose, you're going to go bad. People smoke for a reason. Because they're nervous. They bite their fingernails because they're nervous, right? You got to get to the root of why you're nervous.
And even in what I do from a coaching standpoint, when people tell me they have this dream and they want to start a business, and they'll come in a workshop or a class, and they'll come to everyone I ever have. And I had one young lady that she, for 4 years, she was a fan. She was a super fan. I could be guaranteed that she was, if I didn't have nobody else in the class, she was going to sign up. To finally, one day I told her, you have learned everything you need at this point. I need you to launch. So she was asking, can I come to your class? No, you can't. The next thing I want you to do is to launch. Then after that, then I'll have some classes that are ready for you for the next phase of your journey. But no, you cannot. And she's like, no. And so the next thing I want to hear is that you've sold your first painting. You've opened up whatever it is you're trying to do, your graphic art, whatever it is you want to do. And so she did. And sometimes, but they talked themselves out of it. Just like the young lady asked me, if I do this, if I start writing and I start making all this money, I got to pay taxes. Yes. And what's the problem?
Self-sabotage, 99% of people.
Yeah, what is the problem? That's what we're doing here. Our sole purpose here is to write, to make money. We're not even telling you to write a great novel. I'm telling you to write a blog or create a blog that the sole purpose we're doing this is for money. And it will change your life. Yeah. That's all we want. So I don't want to hear that. So I even we had to break them into a group yesterday. It's Wednesday. The ones that had already taken the first step to to purchase their domain name and to create the blog name and buy their site. So we were like, okay, this group, you get to move to the next level. Then you over here who's still procrastinating for whatever the reason is, you need to come with me. Because we need to have a come to Jesus meeting on what the heck is stopping you.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remove yourself from people's lives out of love. I know I mentor a lot of students that graduated from USC and UCLA, and they still want to cling on to me and ask me advice for every little thing. And I tell them, my obligation that I told God was to mentor students. Now, I got you graduated, you're good, I got you teamed up with a good job, now go and fly. I can't be answering all your little questions, every time you have like a little something. So it's I use the bird metaphor where when a little bird is ready to start flying, the mom has to push them out of the nest so that they can learn that their wings work.
Right.
But if the mom doesn't push them, they'll never know.
Yes.
They'll never go out there.
So that's me pushing them and saying, no, you can't come to me every time you have a corporate question. You have to figure it out on your own, because in them doing that, they're developing, once again, brain skills that will then help them in other areas.
Right.
So it's almost like I'm doing them a disservice by always giving you a quick answer every time you have a question.
because they won't learn to, like, you won't learn to walk on your own if I don't let you fall. And let you take those first 2 steps on your own. You have to do that. You are phenomenal. Just absolutely phenomenal. And I'm just so happy that Dawn brought you here. I'm going to read your book.
Super excited about reading it.
Thank you. I'm so glad. I really hope you like it.
Oh,
And this
I'm sure
book
I will.
was actually born out of a major obstacle that I had in my life. And at that moment, I was helping 2 people awaken. One who works for one of the biggest celebrities in the world, and another who works for one of the biggest TV networks in the world, and she deals with all of their finances. So she has a lot of stress on her shoulders of budgets and things like that. And they were both awakening at the same time. So I was able to see how a 50-year-old man and how a 33-year-old woman were waking up, and they were going through the same things. And they would both call me crying, like, Elvira, I just heard God speak to me in this way for the first time. I'm freaking out. And I'd be like, calm down. That's how God speaks to you. Tell me what happened. Let's assess this. What could this possibly mean? And I would take them from being shaken or, not knowing what the Holy Spirit can do to then being like, okay, I got this. And now seeing them impact their clients or their network, and now I see different content coming out of that network. Now I see that person's client now releasing different type of material to impact the world. So when I seen that, I was like, wow, if I could just put this into a book form and make it super simple so that anybody can awaken. And if they're feeling scared because they're waking up every night at 3 o'clock in the morning or 3:33 and they're starting to see certain things, it's not that you're crazy. It's not that, something's happening. It's just that God is telling you it's time. It's time for you to do what I called you to do and wake up.
I have a girlfriend that she wakes up every night at 3:30. She's been doing that as long as I've known her, every night, and I've known her for over 40 years.
Do you know why? Because that's when the world is sleeping and there's better energy for God to communicate to you directly. So imagine if everyone's awake at 11 o'clock in the day, everyone's praying, everyone's asking, and God is like putting out fires, all this stuff. About 3 o'clock in the morning in your area, it's pretty chill. So now if you're talking to God,
and you're pretty chill.
I like
the energy in the world, it's better.
Yes, we're better
Yeah.
because we're calmer at 3 o'clock in the morning.
And you always up at some crazy hours.
But you know what? It was funny. I used to wake up all the time, and it wasn't one person told me, well, maybe God's trying to talk to you during that time. And I was like, hey, we're okay. So now I start waking up and God, is that you? You want to talk?
Are you
but
talking?
really. You wake up, I can wake up without an alarm clock on time, same time. I can go to bed at 12 o'clock and still be up 1 o'clock and still be up at 3, 2 o'clock and be up at 3. That was last night. I went to bed at 2, like 1:30. Woke up at 3 without an alarm clock. Woke up at 2:15 actually because I had a 3:30 client this morning. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, it depends on. At 7, I wake up without an alarm clock.
But yeah,
this new 5 or 6 o'clock thing is new to me, so my body's still trying to adjust to it. But I don't go to bed until 12:30, 1 o'clock. I've always been I think
like that.
better at night. I'm most creative at night. I can whip up graphics. I can write a whole business plan in the middle of the night because that's when the ideas. Sometimes when I'm going to speak, my message comes through at nighttime, or I'll dream it, and then the next morning I'll just start to speak it. The Lord knows where I'm going and who I'm speaking to is just like the message.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. It's one of the best feelings in the world when you're speaking and you can feel it's God's energy, not yours. Because I'm like, I can hear myself and that sounds way better than how I know how to talk.
Right?
It's way better.
It just takes over, right? It's like,
and you're like,
where did that come from? Yeah, that happens all the time. I'll get up and there's a message and I kind of have it in my head and then they'll go, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I'll say that. And then and then afterwards, people have come up. I don't know where I was speaking one time. And afterwards, and I spoke for about 30, 40 minutes. And the guy came up. He goes, oh, my God, I'd like to interview you. Can you say the exact same thing?
Oh, no.
No, I don't even know. What did I say?
Exactly. I never know
I knew the general vicinity of which I was having. But to tell you word for word, no, because I can't tell you what I said.
Yeah. That's when you know you're speaking from the heart, when God is using you as a vessel. And that's the best feeling ever.
Yeah. No, I can't do that. I can give you the perimeters. I can give you an outline. You're going to take it from there. But I can't do that. You have been absolutely awesome. all you ladies have been awesome. And Gilbert and I are going to talk to you about what we need to do.
Gilbert, her, and Dawn.
And Dawn. We're going to, how to
That's
get
all right.
the
I'll
business
remind
zone.
you. I ain't got no problem reminding you of me.
Business zone syndicated. Because I know we have a major following when the show is boosted on Facebook. We have a huge following in Africa. Mm-hmm. We usually get 30 to 40,000 views on young people in Africa, probably the millennial and Gen X's, because the needs, the opportunities are not there, so they're just like sucking it up. And so we'd like to be able to an international, global exposure for the show.
Yes, that's what we would like.
Yes, that's what we would like. and just some of the things that is taken for granted here, I think would definitely be received in other places.
I know for sure you will.
Yes.
I know for sure. So let's make it happen.
Okay, well, we definitely will. Before we go off air, I have a class coming up. It's the basics of accounting is vital for survival for a small business. We're reaching out to barbers and hairstylists and entrepreneurs and small business owners. The class is $129. If you use the discount before January 15th, it goes up after that. You will learn how to manage your receivables, your accounts, and you price your product for profit, understanding your expenses, how to manage your cash flow and forecasting, and prepare for your taxes. So reach out to me at 323-906-7004. If you're interested, you should be interested because money is important, and if you don't manage it correctly, it will go away from you. And Miss Elvira Guzman, her book, How to Awaken and Stay Awakened. Where do we find this book?
HowToAwaken.com.
HowToAwaken.com. And if they're interested in your services, how do they find you?
On my Instagram, I am Elvira Guzman. Easiest way, DM me.
All right. I'm going to have to connect with you on your Instagram account, IG, as they say.
Yes.
Yeah. It's been honored. We are honored.
Yes.
We're honored to have you here. Congratulations on all your success, and congratulations for your future success. But I know
absolutely.
God already got you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun. And also listening to your other interviews today, it just keeps me inspired to know that other people are working just as hard as I am to help the community, that there's not just self-driven people. So kudos to you and your show for giving us the spotlight.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, that's why we're here, and that's why God directed me to do this, is because there are the people, the unsung heroes that are doing a lot of work behind the scenes. Dawn, how do they reach you?
On all social media, at Dawn, DAWN Strozier, STROZIER, Zumba on Thursdays, coming in February. Yes, we're going to have a whole lot of fun. Yoga, Crenshaw, and Dance. You can find me right here with the Business Zone. And if you're single, DM me.
Okay. And the Business Zone is here every Friday afternoon from 3 to 5. You can reach me if you need a business coach to help take your business to the next level at mitchellbusinesssolutions.com. We're Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all the social media outlets, and we'd love to hear from you. Our goal is to help you become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. We need you to do that so that our community can grow and be successful and prosperity for our younger children. We have to work toward making this a better place for our kids. So we will see you next Friday at 3 o'clock, and Gilbert will be here. Thank Rashonda, Renee, thank Zanetta Smith, and thank Elvira Guzman for being here on the show. And Dawn, thank you for everything that you do for the Business Zone. We so appreciate it. All righty, we're out.
Peace.
As a small biz pro, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. Yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Got my capability statement, yes, I'm ready to go. Got my balance sheet, my P&L, my statement of cash flow. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah.